Welcome to Business with Louis, the show where we explore the world of entrepreneurship and innovation. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most iconic figures in the history of business, Steve Jobs. As the co-founder of Apple, Steve Jobs revolutionized the way we think about technology, design, and consumer experience. But what made him so successful? And how can you apply his principles in your own ventures or careers? Let's start with the basics. Who was Steve Jobs? Born in 1955, Steve Jobs grew up in California with a passion for electronics and design. He attended Reed College in Oregon but dropped out after one semester due to the financial burden on his parents. This decision, however, led him to explore his interests in calligraphy, which later influenced the development of the Macintosh computer. In 1976, Steve Jobs co-founded Apple with Steve Wozniak in Jobs' parents' garage. Their first product was the Apple I, a personal computer designed and hand-built by Wozniak. But it was the Apple II, introduced in 1977, that truly launched Apple as a major player in the burgeoning personal computer market. So, why is Steve Jobs important in the world of business and entrepreneurship? The answer lies in his unique approach to innovation, design, and customer experience. He had an unparalleled ability to merge technology with art, creating products that were both functional and beautiful. This fusion of form and function has become a hallmark of Apple's products and a key factor in their success. One of his most influential ideas was the concept of design thinking. Design thinking is a problem-solving approach that emphasizes empathy with the customer, experimentation, and prototyping. This methodology allowed Apple to create products that were intuitive, user-friendly, and met the needs of their target audience. Steve Jobs was also heavily influenced by the ideas of Buckminster Fuller, an American architect and systems theorist. Fuller's concept of synergetics, the interaction of two or more agents to produce an effect that is greater than the sum of their individual contributions, resonated with Jobs' vision for Apple's product. He believed that the integration of hardware, software, and services could create a seamless user experience that was greater than the sum of its parts. Another key principle that guided Steve Jobs' approach was his focus on simplicity and minimalism. He once said, "Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple." This commitment to simplicity is evident in Apple's products, from the iPod to the iPhone, which have become synonymous with ease of use and sleek design. One notable example is the development of the Macintosh computer in the 1980s. The Macintosh was the first commercially successful personal computer to use a graphical user interface, which allowed users to interact with the machine using visual icons and menus, rather than text-based commands. Another example is the launch of the iPod in 2001, which revolutionized the music industry by providing a portable, user-friendly device that integrated seamlessly with Apple's iTunes software. The iPod's success was a testament to Steve Jobs' ability to merge technology with art, creating a product that was both functional and beautiful. However, Steve Jobs' career was not without its failures. The Apple Newton, introduced in 1993, was a pioneering personal digital assistant that failed to gain traction in the market. Despite this setback, the Newton's failure paved the way for future innovations like the iPhone, which has become one of the most successful consumer electronics products of all time. So how can you apply Steve Jobs' principles in your own ventures or careers? The first step is to adopt a customer-centric approach that puts design thinking at the forefront. This means empathizing with your target audience, experimenting with new ideas, and prototyping solutions that meet their needs. It's also about creating an immersive brand experience that engages customers on multiple levels, whether through social media, retail, or online platforms. To illustrate this, consider the story of Airbnb, which applied Steve Jobs' principles to create a seamless user experience for travelers and hosts alike. By focusing on design, simplicity, and community engagement, Airbnb was able to disrupt the hospitality industry and create a new market that didn't exist before. My advice is to start small, be willing to take risks, and focus on building a strong team that shares your vision. Don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom and experiment with new ideas, just as Steve Jobs did throughout his career. Remember, innovation often requires a willingness to fail and learn from those failures. In conclusion, Steve Jobs represents a powerful business concept that combines innovation, design thinking, and strategic marketing to create game-changing products and experiences. By understanding and applying these principles, you can unlock new opportunities for growth, differentiation, and success in your own ventures or careers. As Steve Jobs once said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be afraid to think differently and challenge the status quo. That's where the true innovation happens. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the world of Steve Jobs. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with us on social media using the hashtag #BusinessWithLouis. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, every great business starts with action. Make your next move count.